Hey, Kevin,
Yes, sir.
what is a Jawa's favorite type of pasta noodle?
I have no idea.
Rotini. Aw, come on, Drew.
Gosh.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the first ever celebrity-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Drew.
Oh, and I'm Kevin Rubio.
Kevin Rubio, our first celebrity guest.
I was waiting for the celebrity to introduce themselves.
Okay. But yes, so a few months ago, we got a random email from Kevin saying, "Hey, I was one of the writers of the Tag and Bink comic book series that we did EU with Andrew last year." And he's like, someone sent me the link, and I was like, this is cool. And I thought I'd reach out. And we were like, well, come on the show. Let's have you on. So this was super excited for us. Like, this is like, we have like regular people. We don't have famous people that like, so that's pretty cool. So thanks for reaching out, Kevin.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it. And maybe, if you have any other contacts in Lucasfilm that want to like come on the podcast, pass on the information. We'll be gladly.
Everybody else who's currently working for Lucasfilm, you have to go through somebody.
Right, right.
Even my
I thought you were the somebody. You're not the somebody?
No. Even my friends who I've worked with for over 15 years. If I have them do my show, and they're talking about Star Wars, I have to go through the Lucas people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Tight-lipped.
Well, it's now a corporation.
Yeah.
Well, it's always been a corporation, but it's now under an umbrella.
Right. Well, either way, we're excited to have you, and so we're going to hear a lot of your perspectives and kind of like your background and stuff on all the stuff you did. But
Sure.
If you want, just go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, just so people get more familiar with you.
I'm a writer producer. I've been working in the industry for over 35 years. I started in animation as a character designer, and then I worked my way up to I don't know if it's work, more of a lateral move to cell animation restoration and archiving. And I worked at Fox Kids. And it was while I was working at Fox that I did an internet short back in 1997 called Troops. And that was kind of considered the first viral video. That kind of made me a flavor of the month in Hollywood for about 7 months. And it got me my agent and my lawyer and a couple of shows that I developed. Out of those, two made it off the landing, off the platform, and one was an animated show called Duel Masters, and the other was a sci-fi show we shot a pilot for, but didn't get picked up. Duel Masters ran for 3 years. And
I
played Duel Masters with my friends.
There you
That's
go.
crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
But off and on, I've written and produced commercials, promos, trailers for all of the networks, and I've written children's television for all of the children's television networks, if you don't count PBS, since 2012. And probably wrote stuff you guys grew up with.
Wow.
Like what? What other shows have you been involved with?
Pokemon, Green Lantern, Batman Beyond, Justice League America, My Little Pony, Ben 10, The Avengers. I just did a Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol back in 2024. That was the last one I did. Yeah. So
That was
I
a lot
probably
of my
watched
childhood.
Wow.
Yeah,
no,
that's great.
no, you wouldn't.
Well, my 4-year-old would. So
and then I've also done stuff overseas.
Sweet.
Oh, cool.
that's sweet.
That's crazy.
Well, that's pretty cool pedigree you got there. Much bigger celebrity than you try to give yourself credit. So
Yeah.
I have friends that would blow you away with their creds.
Oh, wow. Okay. Cool. Well, thank you for giving that little backstory. But now some Star Wars specifically. So as we do with every single person we have as a guest on for interviews, we always ask them, what is your Star Wars story, or how did you become a Star Wars fan? We like to hear those stories.
I'm old enough to have seen it in the theaters in 1977.
Sick.
We went on my mother's birthday, June 15th, to what was known then as Century Theater in San Jose, California. And if you live in Hollywood, that's pretty much like the Dome. And my only vivid memory of that is hearing my father say, "This line is longer than The Exorcist," which was
Yeah.
which was the big
Right.
the big one that he
Yeah.
went to last. That and Jaws, and I really couldn't comprehend it. I just knew, wow, this was something, and I wanted to see it again. And by my birthday of that year, I had probably gone to see it at least 20 times.
Whoa, wow.
And
And how much was a ticket back then?
$1.25.
Oh man.
Yeah, or 50 cents if you went to the matinees on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And by that point, I started reading Starlog and Monster Magazine and picking up everything I could about this film and the art of filmmaking. And that's kind of where I fell in love with that. And that's when I said, okay, I want to do that.
That's
Wow.
sick.
Yeah.
Cool. So Drew and Andrew, I did post the questions in the Discord if you saw those. So
Yeah.
Andrew, what's the next question we have?
So, first of all, I'm very jealous. I wish that I would have been able to go see it in theaters, because I hear story after story about people that are like, it was a magical experience. It changed my life. It blew my mind, So that's super cool. Jumping a little bit ahead in time, how did you get involved at Lucasfilm with Tag and Bink, and like, how did that project come about?
Okay, well, what I did was in 97, when they re-released Star Wars in the theaters.
Yep.
Everybody was jazzed for it. Well, I was working with Fox at that time, so I had advanced screenings on the lot in the Darryl Zanuck Theater, and they ran all of the films. Because they released one every 2 weeks. But on the lot, you could see them. It's like they ran Star Wars one day, and then they ran Empire the next day, and then they ran Jedi the next day. So, anybody that worked at Fox could invite their family and friends, and just, we went to go see it. They were playing it, not round the clock, but, when the gates opened in the morning and they had screenings.
Wow.
So, the group that I hung around with, just, all kind of young Hollywood guys trying to make it and who were working in the industry but hadn't broken yet. We all went to go see Star Wars. And one member of our group, Mark Altman, who is now a producer, was running a magazine called Sci-Fi Universe. And they were going to do a running comic strip in the magazine. And it was going to be a parody of Tales of a Bounty Hunter, which was a Dark Horse comic that was running back in those days. Only they were going to call it Tales of a Death Star Scanning Crew. And the joke was going to be, for every comic strip, you just follow a stormtrooper until he gets killed.
That's an awesome story.
That's awesome.
And so we're walking back after seeing the re-release at the Zanuck Theater, and we're all walking back to our cars, and I can never remember who said it. So I always credit three people: David McDermott, who is a television writer; Steve Milching, another television writer; and David Hardgrove, who works at Technicolor now. Somebody said, "You know, it would be funny if you cross Star Wars with Cops," which was the documentary show that was running. It was Fox's biggest primetime show at the time, and everybody laughed. And I thought about it, and we kept walking, and I kind of looked around and said, "Is anybody going to take that?" And nobody said no. I said, "Does anybody mind if I take that?" And they said, "Yeah, sure." Because I mean, like, what are you going to do? And so instead of going home and getting in my car, I went back to the office, and my office was directly across from the vault. And I just walked in and I took 3 episodes of Cops off of the shelf, and I watched them, and I got a sense of the rhythm and the timing and the subject matters, and then I just applied it to the Star Wars universe. What if stormtroopers were patrolling Tatooine? What kind of stops would they have? And the most common thing in Cops, at least in the tapes that I watched, were domestic dispute and GTA. And so I wrote a script that filled in the blanks of what was happening off screen of Star Wars when you were away and following Luke.
Yeah.
And so I had been working in the industry at that point 7 years. And because everybody thinks, oh, overnight success. Now, I had a lot of jobs. I worked at Universal Studios. I was Kit the Car. I worked at Paramount Studios as a studio page, which we gave tours of the studio, and we sat audience members for shows like Cheers, which I worked on. And so I was doing the math in my head. It's like, okay, I don't have money, so we got to do locations. So what do we got around us? We got snow and we got desert. Snow is only like 3 months out of the year. Deserts have all the time.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, there's government land we can shoot on, so I can get a permit that's cheap because I'm a taxpayer.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's got to be Tatooine. It's like, I know 2 little people that I used to work with at Universal. I can use them as Jawas. I got my buddy Jeff Himmel, who recently did the costumes for the Odyssey. He did the Jawa costumes. And I'm like, my best friend is the effects director, supervisor of Babylon 5. He can do the effects. I work at Fox. I have access to post-production. All I need are stormtroopers. And that was the big thing, because nobody had a stormtrooper outfit. The 501st didn't exist.
Yeah.
And so I know it's getting long. I'll try to wrap it up. When Star Wars, the re-release, finally premiered 4 days after I'd written the script, front page of the Los Angeles Times, a group of stormtroopers.
Yeah.
And I looked at the costumes. I said, "Oh, that's got to be the studio." And so I called this. I mean, I work at Fox. I called publicity, and I said, "Hey, who were the guys in costume?" I said, "We don't know." I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And so I talked to some friends that went to the premiere, and I said, "Oh, do you know who the guys in the stormtrooper outfits were?" And one of my friends, Bruce Wright, going to name drop, works as an animator for Disney. He said, "I don't, but they go to the Arts Center, which is a graphics and arts college in Southern California, Pasadena." He said, "2 of them are girls, and they're twins." And it's like the stars were aligning. My roommate was the head of admissions at the art center.
Stop.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I just went home and I said, "Hey, Maddie, I need 2 girls that know vacuform at the art center." And they're sisters and they're twins.
Yeah.
She came home with their contact numbers that night.
Dang.
And I reached out to them and I met them for the Empire Strikes Back premiere. And
Wow.
I told them I work at Fox. I'm doing a little short film. I'd really like you guys to be in it. And they gave them the script. And, they gave me one of those, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
As I would.
Yeah, sure.
And so they called me back the next day and they said, "We get a lot of these. Yours is the first one that made us laugh.
Nice.
So we want to do this." So, we got together. Took us about from start to finish. I wrote it in February, like February 15th, 14th. We shot in April at El Mirage Dry Lake Bed. And I finished post-production the day after Comic-Con started.
Wow.
And that was our deadline because we had a screening at Comic-Con. That was the first screening.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we packed our room. And we ran it 3 times because the audience just kept wanting to see it. And my stormtroopers were invited and I gave them tickets, but they were leery. Like they didn't show up in costume or anything. They just sat in the audience. But when they saw the reaction, they left the room and they went back to their hotel to get their uniforms on.
That's awesome.
To come in. And so it was me and my effects supervisor, Sean Jordan, and we had the stormtroopers there and we answered questions. And the officials of the Comic-Con saw our room and they saw the film, and then they came back to me and they said, "Can we run this in Hall D?" Now that was the biggest room at the time at Comic-Con in '97. I was like, "Sure." And then my other buddy saw it. He was doing a panel on independent films. He said, "Can I run the film?" I said, "Absolutely." Well, what was best is that during that first screening on my first panel, Don Bees, who was building R2D2 for the new movies, came up to me and he said, "Hi, my name is Don Bees. I work at ILM. Can I have a copy of the film?" And I said, "Absolutely." and I had brought 3 copies. And so I gave him one. That copy went to England, where they were shooting The Phantom Menace. And on a day when they weren't able to get a shot and they all broke for watching dailies, they snuck the movie into the dailies. And so George saw the film and he declared it canon. He said, "Yeah,
wow.
that's how it happened."
Wow.
That's sick.
And in between all of that, some people who I now call friends who ran a website called theforce.net connected with me through my friend Chris Gore, who ran my film at his independent film panel.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, "We would like to put this on our website." To which I was, "Oh, okay." I have, didn't know what it was or anything. And I thought, well, if I give it for free, it'll stop piracy because there were people trying to sell it, and I would go to conventions and I would give cease and desist, and I would take the tapes and I would do my best because my thing was, I didn't make this to make money. I made this to get a job.
Yeah.
Because at that time, for all of you kids in the audience, everybody was chasing like the next thing. And at first it was, you have to be a filmmaker out of USC, and that was how you got hired. Then it was independent guys like Robert Rodriguez and Kevin Smith. And then that wave came and went. Yep. And the new wave was gray market videos like Trey and Matt at South Park. It was just like, just get your video out there and make it like something that's hard to obtain.
Yeah.
And so that was what I was doing. And from the time I first premiered it in '97 to the time it went on the. It didn't go on the net until February of '98. So
Oh, okay. Oh,
it
yeah.
was a full year from the time I first wrote it to the time it first aired on the net. That it
Wow.
was floating out in Hollywood at parties, and I would even go to some of these parties, and people with a 10th generation VHS copy would tell stories of how they got this thing and get it all wrong of who made it.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
wow.
I took a certain sense of Schadenfreude and just saying, no, I did that. And then going into my truck and pulling out a first generation copy that you can
Yeah.
read that had my name on it. Um, uh, well, when it premiered on the net, there's no streaming, no
Yep.
fast lines,
Yep.
no 5G. You had dial up,
Yep.
and it took a full day on a T1 line to download it in sections and put it together.
Crazy.
10 minutes. We crashed
Wow.
all of the servers on the eastern seaboard.
That's awesome.
Dang.
The whole thing break the net. I'm
Yeah.
one of the guys that broke the net.
Wow.
That's
And
sick.
what happens is every publication is in Chicago and New York. Time Magazine, Newsweek, Premiere, Oprah, Phil Donahue at the
Yeah.
time, CNN. And CNN was in Atlanta, but they had a Washington bureau.
Yeah.
And so their systems all went down. And they all said, what crashed our servers? And so they went looking, and everybody found out it was people are downloading a film.
Yeah.
I was like, downloading a film? What's the film? And so all of the news people started downloading it,
Yeah.
where they had faster lines. And I started getting calls and interviews, and I and my other producers were featured in Time Magazine, in Premiere,
Yeah.
in Newsweek, and it was the Oscar issues of that
Oh.
year. So, in a time when Hollywood is picking up everything Oscar, I was in the fold.
Wow.
Wow.
That's cool.
And that's what got me attention. And so Dark Horse, I was working for Warner Brothers at the time, but Dark Horse contacted me and said, we really like Troops. We'd like you to do a couple of short comic books. How would you feel about that?
Wow.
And I said, sure. And they told me the price, and they said, what do you think? And I said, I'm glad I didn't make comics my career. But it was like, yeah, let's do it. So I did a short for their Star Wars tales, and that issue sold remarkably better than the other ones.
Yeah.
Now I think it was because Sergio, I can't remember, the Mad Magazine artist, was also in it.
Yeah.
But they asked me to do another one, so I did another one, and that issue sold well. And so I did a third one, and that one sold well. By that point, Lucasfilm contacted me and said, how would you like to do your own Star Wars comic? Like, yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
I said, we'd really like you to do like a sequel to Troops. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I've kind of done that. And I said, I'll come up with something, and I'll use stormtroopers in it, but it won't be a sequel to Troops.
Yeah.
And so they said, okay. Well, I started in the theater when I was 10 years old, and I actually worked under the director of the San Jose Civic Light Opera House through my teens. And, I'm not a voracious Shakespeare guy, but I love Tom Stoppard, and he did a play called Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead.
Yep.
And the premise is that you follow two minor characters in Hamlet, and you see what they're doing when Hamlet isn't on stage.
Yep.
And so that's what I just decided. I said, okay, I'm going to follow two guys through the Star Wars trilogy. that that like accidentally caused
Yeah.
everything to happen, and I would patch up all of the plot holes and things
Yes.
that didn't sit right with me,
Mm.
and so that's how Tag and Bink came to be. And then I got to point out Lucas Marangon, who was my artist, and he makes that. It
Yeah.
is not as funny unless he is drawing, because I've had other guys draw Tag and Bink, and it's just not.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
Lucas is inexorably tied to Tag and Bink. Tag and
Yeah.
Bink would not be the success it is without both my scripts and his artwork.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's
That's cool.
absolutely wild. Yeah. For the youngsters listening. I mean, I'm also not super old myself either. And none of us here are, but
Yeah.
for those of you, the younger people listening, I feel like we can't understate, like it's not possible to understate how significant that like fan project to Lucasfilm pipeline, like how rare that was at the time, because like YouTube wasn't around.
Yeah.
So like it's easy today to have this story of like, you do a viral video and then it, maybe it gets picked up or, whatever. But
And
like,
I do Backroom 5.
yeah. It's crazy to think that type of thing happened the way it did, because like, for those of you who never had to deal with dial-up, it was excruciating. I did live a little bit in that era, and like, streaming videos on YouTube was excruciatingly difficult, but like that's a really cool story. Like,
Fun fact, when YouTube first started, the limit of an upload
yep.
was 10 minutes. And do you know why?
Oh, because of you?
Wow.
That's cool.
Oh, whoa!
Because they don't want to shut down the servers again.
Yeah.
because Troops is 10 minutes and 6 frames.
Wow.
And
That's
the creators of YouTube, they called me and they said, we made it 10 minutes because we wanted to play Troops in its full length.
Wow. And I would like to make note, Troops, I haven't seen Troops in a really long time, but Troops is one of those like OG, like you mentioned the virality of it. Like that was one of the first things that came on my radar when YouTube was really young as being like really viral. It was like that. And like, there's like a guitar video that went super viral too, but it like, that's like OG YouTube fame, which is really cool.
Well, it's OG viral.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not to give myself too much credit, but it is in 1997. I think I'm one of 3 films.
That's cool.
And that's why I was proof of concept that people will actually watch stuff on the net.
Yep. And I fan films weren't as popular. Like fan projects like that weren't as popular then, were they?
Well, it was because it hadn't been done.
Yeah.
I mean, it had to a degree, but it hadn't been. There was no distribution.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's no way for anyone to see it.
Well,
because the barrier to entry, I feel like, was much higher too, because you had like equipment wasn't as commonplace, and post production and effects. Yeah, that's so cool.
I had a $5 million post house, and guys, they did all the effects on their computers, but we're talking, professional industry visual effects supervisors that had been working in the industry.
Yeah.
It sounds good as a story. They made it in their home. And yes, we did. But every single person who worked on that had been an industry professional for a minimum of 7 years.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Excuse me.
That's wild.
So people didn't have iPhones back then. They can just shoot things and edit things.
AI can make things like whatever in minutes. But wow, that was a very, very fun and interesting story.
That's cool.
Well, Drew, what's the next question we have?
So what is your favorite Tag and Bink moment?
It's probably the sequence where they're in the throne room with the emperor, and he says, "Guards, leave us,"
Yep.
and then they
Yes.
walk around.
And they're just waiting.
Yeah, because they think there's another elevator.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember reading that,
Hmm.
and as many times as I've seen Return of the Jedi, I never like I knew that moment happened, but I never really paid attention to the guards.
Yeah.
And that made it 100 times better for me. Now, like that's I think about I'm going to see Return of the Jedi with the San Francisco Symphony here in September, and
Nice.
I will inevitably think about that moment when that happens, like without a shadow of a doubt. So
My favorite is the Manny Bothan
Oh,
died.
yeah.
That's super funny to me.
that is credited to my friend, writer, producer Robert Meyer Burnett, who has a YouTube channel, The Burnett Work, and he's the one that gave me that joke. And so, the Manny that's depicted,
Yep.
that's Rob.
Wow.
Excuse me.
Funny.
But Rob is 6'1".
Yeah. Okay. Quite a different experience there. I personally enjoyed because I grew up with the prequel. I mean, I grew up on the original trilogy, but I was finally old enough to see the prequels in theaters when those were coming out. I loved the interplay between them and the dialogue with Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
Because growing up, we all know that was kind of rough. It was a little rough, and I loved the way that you treated that.
Thanks.
Because I feel like you hit on a lot of the jokes that we were all kind of like making, in our friend groups, but no one had ever put to paper, so that was really cool.
Yeah, so I should say, if anyone listening hasn't watched our Tag and Bink episode to know what we're talking about, go check that out, because Andrew goes over a lot of these stories and stuff, and so that what he's referencing is when Anakin is talking to Padme in the fireside room or whatever. Tag and Bink, they're like giving him the lines of the dialogue, and he's not even saying his own words. It's just super funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also never, and maybe it was because I saw Empire so many times when I was younger and things flew over my head, but I never quite understood why C-3PO just gets blasted when he goes into that closet. I knew it happened. I've seen the movie hundreds of times, but I was like, oh, maybe he just runs into a stormtrooper or something or whatever. Your explanation of that made it so much better.
Oh, thanks.
It made I appreciate, because it's fun. It makes sense if it's the Empire or whatever, but to have one of the characters have a grudge against C-3PO,
It's personal.
Yeah, it's way better to me. So
Fun. All right. Well, next question. If you could bring Tag and Bink back again, what story would you like to tell? It could be from a canon Star Wars, it could be from any movie, show, or it could be from EU books and comics that you would like to do a parody of with Tag and Bink.
I can't tell you that.
Can't tell us that? Uh-oh.
Because I'm working on it.
Oh.
All right. Good answer.
We don't want to get
Yeah.
demonetized, so let's keep moving on. But
I'm excited then.
Well, that doesn't mean Lucas is going to accept it.
right.
Well,
True.
Well, can we ask the same question about an EU story?
I will tell you where it takes place.
okay.
It fixes all of the holes in the sequels 8, 9, and 10.
Please. Hey, listen, if anyone who is has a contact with Lucasfilm, has a contact that knows someone at Lucasfilm, if you're listening, make this, please. The Star Wars fans need this.
And it does it with established canon. And you can find the secret to how I fix it in Star Wars Rebels.
Ooh.
Jeremiah, it's like your favorite show of all time.
Well, Andrew, our next question is kind of in the same line of thinking.
Yeah, because you mentioned when you reached out, because I saw a screenshot of the email, that Tag and Bink are technically still alive.
Yes, they are. I did kill them in the final comic, but they are still alive.
Can you explain that?
Well, you know how in the final one they're Force Ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a hollow projection?
Oh,
Okay.
stop.
Let's go.
Okay. I feel like we're getting really dangerous. Like
That's
people on zip lines are gonna go into my apartment right now and like.
what a great way to skirt around that. That's brilliant. Wow.
Drew, what's the next question? Number 6.
Okay, so what other Star Wars projects have you been involved with?
I worked on Clone Wars,
Oh, cool.
Okay.
and I was a consultant for the Star Wars Celebration,
Oh yeah.
and I wrote for Star Wars Insider.
Oh, sweet.
Wow.
I did fake interviews.
That's awesome.
Can you
So
give an
it's like-
example?
Yeah, like I interviewed C-3PO, or I interviewed Dexter Jettster.
Oh, that's Drew's like favorite
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
my favorite character.
And like I hit how food binds the galaxy together. And then I did an interview with Anakin. And, every time you write something for Lucasfilm, you get sent a contract that basically you're signing everything away.
Yeah.
It's like, anything you create is ours. And so when Insider first approached me to do this series, they said, any character. I said, any character? They said, any character. I said, okay. So I saved Anakin for like my 4th one,
Yeah.
and I sent it in, and they said, oh, we didn't think you were going to do him. And I'm like,
You said any character. Why would
yeah,
you?
and they said, yes, I know, we know. But this constitutes a whole different contract.
Oh.
So, like the contract that they sent me for that one was like 20 pages.
So certain characters have certain contracts
yeah,
depending on how
well-
big they are.
Well, because I wrote it prior to episode 3 coming out,
Oh, okay.
and
yeah.
all of episode 3 was built around
Yeah.
Darth Vader.
Yeah.
So, anything I did was, with Anakin. It's like if I said, oh, he used to hang out at this place,
Yep.
then, it's like, well, how does that tie in?
Yeah.
They had to think about so ultimately, they rejected it because they thought it was too dark. And my argument was, he's the Lord of the Sith and the leader of the Jedi Purge.
Yeah.
He's not a happy guy.
Yeah.
But that was but I'll tell you the gist of it. We and again fake, but we met in a bar on the lower levels,
Yep.
of course, where he spends his time hustling pod races through the canyons.
Yeah.
And he loves hanging out there because nobody knows who he is, and everybody in the temple just sees him as the chosen one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So he whenever he can, he goes to the lower levels. This was before the war.
Right.
He goes to the lower levels and he picks illegal races.
That's pretty
awesome.
cool.
That would work. I could see that.
Yeah.
Was he ever bidding on a Saboba or anything like that? Like any of his old rivals? Like, well, he was the best one when I raced him, so I guess I gotta put my money on him. No.
No. Everybody got to everybody down in the lower levels pretty much started catching on, and then it became a thing of, him trying to beat times rather than people because he could beat everybody.
Wow.
There would be like gunslingers that would come in.
Yeah.
But
That's cool.
That's sweet.
That's really cool.
All right, cool.
And,
So that question was about what have you been involved with, but Andrew, what's the next question? A little slightly different question.
Yeah. Is there anything that you would like to be involved in? Or alternatively, if you could pitch like your perfect ideal project, what would it be like?
Yes, and I can't tell you.
That's cool. This is what happens when you interview
Yeah.
Star Wars
Yeah.
celebrities, though. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes it happens. You
Hey,
know?
but if based on how much we love you tonight, like if you're involved in a Star Wars project right now, like
I'm
we're
not.
excited.
I'll tell you, I'm not. I'm totally doing this off books. I did meet with Lucasfilm prior to the pandemic
Okay.
to discuss Tag and Bink,
Yep.
and then pandemic hit, Chapek came, the whole hierarchy got messed up,
Yep.
and nobody knew who was doing anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was a case of, you know, Bob Iger coming in and trying to fix the damage and control and stop the bleeding and all the projects that were going and weren't going, and
Yeah.
Star Wars projects on the table, Star Wars projects off the table.
Yeah.
It's not a really good time. And I don't know if it is still, because if you look at the box office for Mandalorian and Grogu,
Yeah.
that's got them rethinking again. So I'm not sure, if this would ever come to light, simply because it is so out there. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
It doesn't it doesn't make fun of Star Wars.
Yeah.
It has fun with it.
Right.
Yeah.
But it does it in such a weird way. I guarantee this has never been done with Star Wars before. And I've done the elevator pitch. Actually, just like I can do an elevator pitch in one floor, and
Yeah.
and my friends who do know it, you have to do that. And I laid out the cast and everything in there.
Yeah.
But without giving something away, much like, some people out there that's like, oh, we want Henry Cavill back to do, Superman.
Yeah.
Henry's getting old,
Yeah.
or Christian Bale. Christian Bale's 52. He's not putting on the bat suit.
Yeah.
There are certain people I want that, they're getting old.
Yeah.
Right.
So even if let's say they say yes tomorrow, which ain't gonna happen. That's like a year in development. And
Yeah.
I mean, I got some people that, it's like, too old, man. I can't be jumping off of roofs anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Cool.
I was gonna say really quickly, there's a part of me that feels like a continuation of the Tag and Bink story is perfect right now, because there's been so much. I mean, ever since the sequel started coming out, there's been so much discourse over canon and the direction of the story and the legacy characters and the new characters and what they want to do and all this stuff. And I feel like a lot of Star Wars fans are just like, they're tired. They're tired of the seriousness of it.
Sure.
And so, like, I personally feel like it would be such a good opportunity to be like, here's something that like doesn't take itself super seriously. It's just to have fun, have fun with Star Wars and maybe revisit things that you liked or you didn't like in a different light.
I fix those.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe here's the hoping that it actually happens, because, the movies and the TV shows are a lot of fun, but sometimes you just need a good laugh, so.
And if you ever write a story or an idea and you pitch it to Lucasfilm and they say no, like, would you be able to like tell that story like on, say, a podcast? Like, no?
No.
Even pitches, you can't even. Interesting. That's unfortunate.
Again, there are people that know, but it's one of those things you don't really just keep it. It's like, okay, yeah, you shot. I have written so much stuff that's not been made.
Yeah.
It's just the fact of life. Even every script that I write for television, always goes through a rewrite.
Yeah.
Unless I'm the showrunner.
Yep.
So, I'm not precious about it.
Yeah. That actually brings up another question that I wanted to ask. Of all of the hats that you wear, showrunner, producer, writer. Like, what is your favorite aspect? If you had to pick one kind of discipline, what would it be?
Editorial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Sweet.
All right. Fun. Well, Drew, the most important question of the night that you want
I
to
don't know
ask.
if it's the most important question. Have you read much current canon Star Wars books?
I started when they started doing the movies,
Okay.
the new movies, but I've dropped off.
Have you read Lost Stars by Claudia Gray?
I got through part of it, but I put it down. I didn't bring it back up. But I like Claudia's stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Claudia is probably one of the better Star Wars writers.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because she uses the vernacular. You feel like you're in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's, for my money, she's one of the better ones. I read her Leia one in full. I read the Ahsoka one.
Yep.
Yes.
Ahsoka was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Lost Stars is very similar to Tag and Bink in the sense of like they're in the world, but from a different point of view.
Yeah.
And that's like my favorite Star Wars book. Like I've read it like 12 plus times. And so when Andrew brought this up out and like we learned about Tag and Bink, it was like, I loved it. And I love the concept of being in the world, but from a different viewpoint of the world.
Do any of you guys play video games?
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars Battlefront 2?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can play Tag and Bink.
You can?
Really?
They are avatars in Star Wars Battlefront 2.
The original Battlefront 2.
No, not the second one. Yeah,
Oh,
the
really?
original Battlefront 2.
Okay.
Oh, the original one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The one that we grew up playing.
Interesting.
That's sweet.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you there's a YouTube video of them. So if you just put Battlefront Tag and Bink, it'll pop up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I gotta find this. I love that so much.
That's awesome.
All right, cool. Well, now it's time for the lightning round. So there's a bunch
Blue.
of your just a bunch of your favorites that we're gonna just lift up. If you want to give a little explanation, you can, or if you just want to just go quick, whatever you like.
Okay.
But who is your favorite character in Star Wars?
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca?
Yeah.
What is your favorite moment in Star Wars?
Luke staring at the sunset on Star Wars.
Oh,
Not Star Wars New Hope, Star Wars.
I was going to say that earlier. You said
chills,
Star
give me
Wars,
chills,
and then
yeah.
Empire. I was like, okay, OG right here.
The opposite end of the spectrum. What is your least favorite moment in Star Wars?
Somehow Palpatine has returned.
yes.
So maybe that will get addressed in a future work. Maybe we'll see.
It is. I fixed that too.
Favorite droid?
R2.
R2?
Yeah.
And then maybe just a little like nuanced one. What's your favorite like type of droid? Any like he's an astromech, but do you like any certain like
K2SO.
Oh,
Well, actually,
cool.
let's switch that. K2SO astromech. There we
Okay.
go.
Nice. Yeah.
Cool. Favorite creature in Star Wars, not alien species?
Favorite creature in Star Wars, not an alien species?
Because we have some people that question, they think, oh, I like Wookiees. Well, Wookiees aren't creatures, they're people. So like a Loth cat or a Bantha or something.
Tauntaun.
Yeah, probably a Tauntaun.
There
If I had to choose.
All right, Drew, tell your joke.
No, please don't tell the joke.
No, you want to hear this one. Drew, go say
Do
it.
I?
Yeah.
Do
I
I?
don't know if you do. I'm nervous now. Do you know what the temperature inside a Tauntaun is?
No.
Lukewarm.
All right, moving on.
Okay.
Moving on.
Okay.
Anyways.
You can have that one. I'll let you have that one.
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
What is your favorite quote in Star Wars?
No reward is worth this.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Favorite lightsaber hilt?
Anakin's Star Wars 1977.
Okay. And
Oh, yeah.
what's your favorite blade color for a lightsaber?
Blue.
Blue. Favorite starship?
Oh, the Fondor Hallcraft. Andor.
Oh,
Ooh,
definitely.
nice.
That scene when he destroys
Yeah.
that thing is so cool. Favorite musical theme or like music track from a soundtrack?
Luke's theme.
Cool. And then top 5 Star Wars movies. So number 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. How would you rank your top
I
5?
can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Empire, Star Wars, Rogue One, Jedi, Sith.
Okay. Cool. Now, why you said Empire is your favorite? Why is that your favorite? What makes it so special for you?
Character development, complexity, and just everything about it. Pacing, lighting.
Yeah.
That's when you give the audience what they want, you get Return of the Jedi. When you give the audience what they don't expect, you get Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
Interesting. All right. Well, that's all the questions that we have prepared. But
Groovy.
if there's-
What about your online video guy? Didn't you have somebody that phoned in or something?
yeah, we'll get to
Okay.
voicemail in a sec. But if there's any other questions that Andrew or Drew, if you want to pick Kevin's brain about anything, go ahead. Or if there's anything else you'd like to share, like we got time. Like
I can prattle on about a wide variety of topics that are not Star Wars.
right. But just give a sec if you guys want to ask any other questions. But
You said you worked on Batman Beyond.
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite part about working on that?
Well, I launched it along with my friend William Bigger.
Okay.
So working with Kevin and Will Friedle,
That's sweet.
it's always nice.
That was like one of my favorite shows as a
Yeah.
little kid. Like that show was awesome.
Yeah.
And it was so different, and then like how there's like tech involved that we didn't even see yet.
Yeah.
So it was like super futuristic. And I just think even like the way, like the story about how there's the older Batman,
Yeah.
like helping the younger Batman, and the movement style was different. His costume style was different. I thought that was really cool as a kid.
In the original script, Bruce shot the guy.
Oh wow!
That's why he stopped being Batman, because he broke his rule.
Oh.
But that wasn't going to make the network.
Yeah.
The CW wasn't about that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm go ahead.
I was going to say also, Smallville.
Yeah.
Completely different Martha in the pilot.
Oh.
Annette Bening was a recast. They had to reshoot all of those things. The original girl they cast for Martha, the network thought was too young.
Oh, interesting.
She was good, and I was cutting every year. The networks do what's called the upfronts, where they bring all of the affiliates together and they trot out the stars and all the goods, and they say, "Here's what's coming this fall."
Yeah.
And so we have to put together all these what are called sizzle reels.
Yeah.
And I was working on one for Smallville. Didn't make it, but I used 5 for Fightings. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Because I was hoping to get that. I was pushing for that to be the title music for the show. I even went to Terry Semmel, the the head of the network. I told him, I said, "You own the song. It's not going to cost you anything to use it." But they went a different direction, and they went with a different Martha.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, kind of switching gears, going back to Tag and Bink, for a lot of people who I guarantee you don't know this. What it like from a 30,000 foot view? What is the process from like start to finish to complete a finished like comic story like that?
Well, for specifically for Tag and Vink, it involves watching all the movies again.
Yeah,
So hard
Yeah.
to do.
No, well, I mean, but if it's like, sure, if you like Star Wars, that's great. But if you got to
Yeah.
watch episodes 7, 8, and 9,
Mm.
and you got to watch it over and over again, trying to find the spots where you can put Tag and Bink.
yeah,
But so that's it's watching the films and finding out where can they logically be.
yeah,
Then it's kind of doing an outline and says, okay, they need to be in this spot, but
Mhm.
they're in this spot.
Yep.
What is the logical Star Wars in-universe method to get them over here?
Yeah,
So that's all plotted out in what's called a beat outline, which is as simple as writing down, this happens, then this happens.
yeah,
But if Trey and Matt would say, well, it should be this happens, but because of that, this happens. Therefore, this
yeah,
happens.
yeah,
So it's a lot of that. Then I write the script, and it's usually it's Ben Edlin, another friend who started in comics. He said the difference between writing for television and comics is one is temporal and one is spatial. And it's like you only have so many panels to
yeah,
tell that story,
Mhm.
and you only have so much space on a page, so you really can't load it down with too much dialogue into a
Yeah.
small panel. So I start by I do thumbnail sketches of pages, and I just start drawing panels.
yeah,
Mm.
And I said, okay, I need this in 5 panels, or and I try to give Lucas a break every now and then. If you'll look back at the Tag and Binks, every single issue has one where it's just their eyeballs in darkness.
yeah,
That's because I wanted to
Wow.
give Lucas a break.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
You know,
Oh,
because
Interesting.
he's drawing so much,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and so you got to start with page 5, 6 panels.
yeah,
Panel 1, the description of what's in the panel.
yeah,
Now, sometimes some artists don't, or some writers don't do that. Some writers just write the dialogue,
yeah,
and they just, here it is, and they leave it to the artist to decide the panels. But because mine are visual gags,
yeah,
I
yeah.
have to be specific of
Right.
bump, bump, bump. This happens, and this happens, and this happens
Yeah.
to
makes
make
sense.
that flow. And then I provide Lucas with screen grabs of everything, so he has references
Yep.
of what places I'm talking about, and I try to get as many angles as possible and try to eliminate some of the work that he has to do.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we do some comic stuff. One of our other hosts, Grace, she does a lot of the comic stuff for us, and she'll walk us through some of the story points. And we've read some of them too. And like some of the ones that we're reading, like you can tell there's a great story there, but they're so limited in what they can put on a page. It's like, man, I wish
Yeah.
this could be explained more, or this scene could be longer. But they just gotta get to the next page because you're limited. It's
Yeah.
very interesting writing process.
I'm curious. I'm sure this would probably be the case, but when you're working with Lucas, I'm sure you inform each other.
When I say Lucas, I mean Lucas Marangon.
Yes.
Mhm.
So I'm sure you probably feed off each other, right?
Only in the sense that I know what he can draw.
Okay, that makes
Because what
sense.
I will do is I'll say, Lucas, I don't know. If you want to change this, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah,
Here's how I see it. If you can draw it better, fine by me.
that's cool. It's cool that you have the trust, that artistic trust in someone like that. That's cool. Okay.
I do that with all the artists.
Yeah.
I mean, there, except that there are certain times where I say, this panel has to be like this.
Yeah.
And here's why.
Yep.
Right.
Because I'm going to reference a joke
Yes.
on the next page. So you
Right.
have to draw
Yeah.
this into that panel.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Interesting.
That's a really cool
I
process.
feel like it would be easier to write it too if you're writing it as a comic than just on a piece of paper.
How do you mean?
Like if you're setting it up as you're like in a comic, and then instead of just writing the story out and then chopping it into a comic.
Well, I do have to write the story out
Yeah.
first. I rewrite it as a comic, because sometimes I'll write a sequence and it's like, that's going to take 4 pages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like writing for comics is in many respects even more difficult than just like writing just like your typical story.
It's a skill like anything.
Yeah.
It's you do it, you learn it, you hopefully master it.
Have you wrote much other comics besides Tech and Bink? Or?
Yeah, I have my own comic book series called Abyss.
Oh, okay.
Which is about a kid who finds out his dad is the world's greatest supervillain.
Oh.
Which people have likened to Invincible.
Oh yeah.
I beat Invincible by 1 month though.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So
that's interesting.
And mine is a flat out comedy.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Cool. Have you written like any serious things?
Yeah.
So, what have you written that's like a serious story?
I did a World War II fighter pilot piece.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And I'm working on a biography right now.
Oh, yeah. That's very different than Tag and Bink.
Very.
All right. Well, guys, do you have any more questions?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
It's been fun though.
We'll quick do our voicemail time. So let's transition over to that.
It's voicemail time.
That's Drew singing that for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was lovely, Drew.
It's beautiful,
Thank you.
honestly.
All right. Well, we just have one voicemail. It was sent in a few weeks ago because we've been off for a little bit. From someone who sent in some before, Devin. It's a little choppy, but we can still hear what he has to say. Okay. So let's take a listen.
Hey, Empire, Devin here. Just listening to some of your old podcasts. I was wondering why you guys ever quit breaking down the deleted scenes for the movies. I'd love to hear your breakdowns for the rest of the movies if you guys ever get the time to do it. Especially like Solo. Solo's got some good deleted scenes. And I also got to say, for the sake of Jeremiah's sanity, this new Ahsoka show, they got to put the grist in the chest. I'm not sure what they are. I'm not in the EU, but it sounds like they need to get them in this damn show already. See you guys.
Okay,
all right,
you're gonna have to translate.
Oh yeah, well, thank you, Devin. He asked about we used to break down and discuss deleted scenes from some movies, and he asked why we stopped. I guess I don't know. I think we started doing those, and we got caught up with shows and other things that we were doing, and then we forgot about them. And I just went back on Disney Plus today and looked like, oh, all these movies have deleted scenes. So we're always looking for content. So Drew, we gotta maybe revisit our deleted scene segment that we got. And then he also was referencing my desire for the Chiss and the Grisk to face off in the Ahsoka or the Thrawn movie that's supposed to come out eventually. How the 6 books and Rebels and everything it has to lead to the Grisk. Thrawn uniting the galaxy to fight the Grisk. That's what it has to be.
It's not going to happen.
And then somehow Palpatine still returns after all of that. So,
but I still have faith in Dave Filoni. I haven't given up on him. But rumor came out today because D23 is this weekend. that the Ahsoka season 2 trailer is going to come out this weekend. So I'm hoping that happens. And if that happens, we'll be doing that next week on the podcast, the trailer breakdown. So super excited for that.
Oh, we were talking about comics. Did
Yeah.
you guys see the new rumor about Marvel and Star Wars being in a comic together?
No.
Patton
actually?
Oswalt's
Yeah.
Patton Oswalt's speech is coming through.
From Parks and Rec.
So that's a rumor. Did that came out today?
It's a rumor.
Like a
that
crossover?
Kevin Spacey's supposed to do it. Yeah. Look it up,
Interesting.
Andrew.
Okay.
It looks very... I don't know how they're going to do it.
I don't
You
know.
seem very excited
See,
about that.
with the Infinity Stone, man.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess.
Multiverse.
Multiverse.
But I did not.
World between worlds.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you, Devin, for sending in that voicemail. It's been good to hear from you again. But yeah, that's all we have for tonight. So just a heads up for all our listeners. So like I said, if the Ahsoka trailer drops this weekend, we will do that breakdown next week. If not, we will be doing a discussion on Star Wars Theories fan film that came out a couple weeks ago. Drew and I both did reaction videos to that. And so go check out those reaction videos and go support Star Wars Theories fan film. It was quite wonderful. One of the best fan films, just eye candy and give the fans what they want type of thing. So go check that out. Then in 2 weeks, we will be doing a season breakdown of The Ninth Jedi that just came out. The anime from Visions Volumes 1 and 3. It's a whole 8-episode series. So we'll be doing a discussion on that. And then we'll be off in September. And for our Patreon followers, we got all Lord of the Rings trilogy movies, my reviews on those. Plus, we got the Avatar Aang movie we did a review on with Grace. And then next month, we will be doing Interstellar because Drew and Grace both have not seen that. So,
What?
Well, I've seen it now.
We'll see it now. But we'll be doing that recording beginning of September. So look
Hey, I
forward.
have to ask you something.
You
Did
can come.
Tanner change your opinion of the Lord of the Rings?
He shed some light, and I enjoyed it better than I did a long time ago when I saw it and didn't like it. So he took that as a win.
Okay,
He was happy with my.
we take what we can get, I guess.
Yeah.
I worked on the DVD for Two Towers.
In what way?
The DVD extras. I worked with Curdy Pellerin.
Yeah.
That was the company that put together the extras.
Oh, that's cool.
That's sweet.
My one joke that I had throughout those 3 movie reviews. So each one I opened it with. First one was somehow Sauron has returned.
Oh,
Second movie was somehow Gandalf has returned, and then the third
oh my
movie
gosh.
somehow the king has returned. So a little fun with that.
At least it wasn't They Fly Now.
No.
No.
All right. Well, if you are listening to us for the first time or you're new and you want to get connected with us, go in the description below of wherever you're listening, and there's a landing page for Empire Radio, links.co/Empire Radio. Click that landing page for everything. So you can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, join our Discord. Normally we do live streams for episodes on Twitch, so go follow us on Twitch for that. Send in a voicemail. Got the link for that. And if you need to send us an email, we got our fan email available as well. So thank you, Kevin, for
Yeah, Kevin,
joining
is there
us.
anything you
Thank you
want
for
to
having
plug?
me.
Yeah, I was
Why
gonna
do
say,
you still have you?
how can people follow you?
Instagram, the Kevin Rubio.
Nice.
Sweet.
Cool.
Perfect.
Yeah, so if you ever want to come on the show, if we talk about other projects that could come out in the future, or I'm sure when Tag and Bink come out in the future again, we'll be right on that, and we'll have you on again to talk about.
It's a pipe dream, but
Well, what
Hey, it's our
we're
dream now
No.
too.
I was gonna
We're
say,
cheering you on.
all
I
is
haven't-
as the Force wills it, as they say.
I
so.
need it. I need it in my life, and we will. If it comes out, I'll be making another presentation easily. Like it's gonna happen. So
okay. Well, here I'll make your audience really mad at me. Stop the record, and I'll give you the pitch.
oh no.
All right, well, you've been listening to the first ever Celebrity-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Drew.
Oh, I'm Kevin. Sorry.
And may the force be with you.
Always.
Always.